Hey, dear subscriber, dear viewer, dear liker, I like you too. I care for your well being. And this is episode 70, Sabini. Is that how they say it in Swahili? Sabini? It's a good Tuesday. It's Fat Tuesday for some ends of this world, I guess. Fat Tuesday it is. And let's delve into what we call urgent matters of the day because I have the good, the bad, and the ugly. Uh, watch that movie, Clint Eastwood. Ah, the drum beats of doping have been either being heard or, as the prophet will say, they have ears, but they only have itchy ears. They have eyes, but they are blind. And so here we go, doping nations of Kenya, because they are closing in on Kenya. They are really closing in quickly. The doors are about to be shut. If Noah was here, he would say, the ark is about to be shut. I've been preaching for 120 years. The floods are coming. Winter is coming. Winter is coming, by the way, in Northwest and maybe most of the northern sphere. And so, the floods are coming, my friend. Kenya, are you ready? I don't know whether Kenya is ready. The athletic world of Kenya, is it ready for what is about to unfold? There's bad news about to hit the news headlines in Kenya, mostly athletics. And again, is in the doping arena. Is there an unheeded call that I've been trying to make? I'm not the only one, because the Kenya Anti-Doping Agency, ADAC, is at risk for non-compliance with the measurements that were put in place in 2016. They were given what they call grace period to put their house in order. They were told, this is your last time, Kenyans, in athletics. Get your house in order when it comes to doping and enhancement drugs. What have Kenyans done since then? Yes, they've exposed people who have been cheating. The numbers, I've thought about these numbers before. Yes, they made an attempt. But while they were making an attempt and making headways and breaking and trying to satisfy the anti-doping agency around the world, WADA. WADA is a world agency, doping agency, that has gone around the world trying to curtail and control and bring integrity into sports. So they were given time, Kenyans were given time, a lot of time. And so they were on good run until this new regime decided to cut the funding. In cutting the funding, the world has paid attention. I've been speaking about this. Some of my episodes, people are like, you are just doped, man. You are so doped. And so here comes a problem for Kenya. And I don't know how long, but I'm a very sensible guy to say, if they don't get their working, if they don't meet the standard that they've been told to meet, Kenyans are going to be spectators in athletics. Let me tell you what I'm reading straight up from the news, local news in Kenya. The severe budget that the Kenyans, this regime imposed on ADAC, the Kenya Anti-Doping Agency, has reached an alarming standard, so to speak, because they are saying that they've reduced the budget of 2024-25 from 288 million that was allocated to 20 million. And the agency itself is now scrambling, even unable to perform basic mandate. Basic mandate. They went from 288 million to 20 million. They just cut the budget. They just shut down the old agency. That's exactly what it's looking at. And so there's a lady here who speaks very, very, with very strong words. She says, failure by the agency, the Kenya agency, to effectively discharge its mandate will attract the wrath of the World Anti-Doping Authority, WADA, which will declare Kenya non-compliant, she continues to say. and is going to be barred from international competition and severely impact the country's standing in global athletics. What have I been saying, my friend? I don't think I'm the worst prophet you'll ever run into. And so while I've been talking about our success, I've been, just going into this celebration of Kenya. The clouds have been gathering too. And the storm is coming, and Kenyans are about to be shut out from competition athletics. I don't know whether they are going to go, if they can cut the budget of almost 300 million Kenya shillings to 20, that gap by itself, and the struggles the system is going through in Kenya, even to raise revenue, even to meet the basic minimum in health, education, running the government, and now athletics. So here is a former ADK, a chairman ambassador, Daniel Makwadwoli, who previously raised concern about the agency deteriorating situation, warning of far-reaching implications if ADAC remains incapacitated. She says, "We are at risk of not being able to host or send any of our sportsmen for international competitions because the agency cannot carry out its regular testing activities both in competition and out of competition. No legal prosecution can go on for these athletes who have violated anti-doping policy, and no anti-doping education can go on," she warned. I don't want to be the one saying that our priorities in Kenya are out of whack, but I think we have no leadership at all. And for me, the lady here, her name is Shibutse, and she says that the situation on the ground is dire. She says the landlord has given us a notice because we are not paid, we have not paid rent. Hold on a minute. She is the head of ADAC, the local Kenyan agency. She says the landlord, okay, they have a building, I suspect, that they've been using to run this program of getting the process of anti-doping to run and meet the standard that they've been asked to do. She said the landlord has given us a notice because we have not paid rent since July 2024. Internet has been disconnected. We are in a dire situation. This is the chairman, the chair lady of ADAC. She says they are in the streets. They are living in a tent. The landlord has given them a notice. They are being evacuated. They have no Wi-Fi. They have no internet connection. This is supposed to be the agency that was put in place to run anti-doping within the framework of Kenyan athletics system or family. And they don't have rent. They don't have internet. Oh my Lord. I didn't say God. Oh my Lord. Lord have mercy on us, Kenyans, because this is the fact that we are in the agency is being ran from under a tree, like most of the schools in Kenya. They cannot meet the basic standards. The budget has been gathered from 300 million Kenya shillings to 20. Let me say this. I have some sympathy for Kenya. I do. I do have that sympathy. But they brought this shit on themselves. I hate to say that. This shit has been going on for a long time. The consequences of ignoring, the consequence of allowing impunity, of allowing corruption, of allowing cheaters, people cheating, is come home to roost, my friend. My sympathy goes to the athletes who are maybe innocent, but they're all going to be thrown out with the baby tub. Everybody is going to suffer, including the so-called elites. Because when you think about it, they might just represent a country maybe as individuals. Maybe they'll be clear that way. But as a nation, an association under Kenya Athletics, which I don't think, Kenya Athletics Association, to be honest with you, in Kenya, is a joke. The Barnabas Korea I've been saying, I've been calling them out. Do they hear me? Do they even listen to anybody? I think there's a sense of arrogance in Kenya. It runs deep. The fact that the other day I talked about the parliament feeling that they can bully the world into seeing them as, hey, how dare you question a Kenyan athlete, Ruth Chepngetich, and saying she's not clean? That arrogance and bully attitude, my friend, Kenya, does not fly in this day and age. It doesn't. Unless you're Trump, then you can bully your way to the White House. But when it comes to Kenya, the same Kenya that has been given a grace period from 2016, they were told to put their house in order. What are they hearing right now? Let me tell you something. This to me is alarming. Their failure even to discharge basic duties within the agency. Oh my gosh, they're about to be sanctioned. They're about to be kicked out of competition. And for me, it's going to be sad. I don't want to get so sad, but I'm going to move on to my next topic today, because my next topic might kind of give me a topic that I think is going to take me more than one episode to dissect, interrogate, expose, and try to debunk. So Julian Alfred, the 100-meter winner from this Olympics Paris, she won the gold medal in 100 meters. And she had an interview with Arthur Bolden, Tobago, a sprinter who is an NBC journalist, a broadcaster. And I'm always curious about athletes and their well-being. I think mental health is become a new way that people appreciate humanity. And she had an interview with Arthur Bolden, a very intimate one, so to speak, because when you go mental with people, when you go mental health with people in a conversation, you are being vulnerable, you are opening up, you are pretty much letting people into your soul. And this is what I think she talks about. She talks of a journey as an islander from that island of St. Lucien, where she grew up. She's 23 years old. I forgot to mention her age. She's 23. So keep that in mind. As a champion, she shares about a journey of embracing a muscular physique despite societal expectations, encouraging young girls to love their bodies and pursue their goals confidently. Wow. Embracing a muscular physique. I've had this before. The image of women of color, how they look. They are muscular. They are too muscular. They must be men. I'll come back to that in my next episode. And I hope you indulge me in this one, because this conversation goes into the body shaming, the lack of diversity within sports, the accelerated program and European project to humiliate, embarrass, scrutinize young women of African descent. And by the way, it's particularly women that this project has been rolled out by, specifically the World Athletic Organizations. I don't know how I'm going to go with this, but to hear Julian Alfred struggling to embrace a muscular physique is a dog whistle for racism, my friend. It's just another historical aspect of slavery, colonial devaluation of people of color that has been plaguing people of African descent for a long, long time. During the Olympics, there's an image that I cannot forget. There was a boxer from Algeria. I think her name is Khalif. Yes. Before our final against Italian boxer, there were one of the tirade and hateful comments were coming through the channels saying she wasn't a woman. She wasn't a woman. She shouldn't be fighting in the women category. After she won the gold, she screamed and cried like a baby. I don't know whether I can even say that. She was emotionally overtaken by the burden of trying to prove she's a woman. Maybe I'll leave that topic to be continued for next episode, because I've just mentioned some of these Olympic scenes of Julian Alfred and the Caliph woman from Algeria, and how women in athletics have to prove they are women enough. Who set that standard? Where is diversity? Where is humanity? Where is the value of being you? How come we are not embracing that? It has a face. It must have value. Why are you devaluing and questioning their womanhood? When Julian Afro says that growing up, she was always told she's a male, she's a man, she's too muscular to be a woman. That she wasn't a normal girl because of her physique. That she talks about going to the gym and even standing there saying, if I lift weights, I'm going to show muscular body. But she's an athlete. How else do you perform as a sprinter if you don't work out and tone that muscle? And what's wrong with toning the muscle as a woman? Why is not that same question being asked of a man? Huh? Who defines a woman? Who sits there on the throne and says, that's a woman, that's a perfect ideal of a woman, and this is how they should look? Give me that picture. Just draw it for me and leave it for me. Is it the Madonna picture? The Virgin Mary picture? Is that a woman? Is that the ideal of a woman? This anti-black narrative, anti-black Eurocentric project being played out and using African descent women as an experiment has a very long history. I think for this episode, I'll cut it short there because I don't think I can really delve in at depth. I think it's going to take a few more of this discussion. I hope you can interact with me if you want to. Because women of color have always been told they are not beautiful enough, their hair is not good enough, their noses are not great enough, their physique is not woman enough. So who set the standard? I asked that question. Maybe I'm asking too many times. What's an ideal human being? Where is love in this? Where is humanity in this? See you in my next episode. I'm asking questions. And I appreciate women like Julian Alfred saying that she's embraced who she is. I think all of us should. That's all you have, my friend. Whether you're an athlete, a pedestrian, or you are just standing there, sitting there, walking, breathing, you have value. And to hear athletes who've been humiliated and being asked to define themselves. I'll talk about a woman, Caster Semenya, who to me has been lynched in public for being a woman. She's been the inquisition that has gone on that South African woman for a long time begs this question. Who defines who a woman is? Who is that? Who rolled out this project? Who signed off on this project? To me, it's a Eurocentric project. And there's a pushback from this guy. Episode 70. I just get started. I'll get you next time.